So yes, post one Instagram post a day. This could be a picture or video. And they also say that you can post 4 to 5 stories a day. Now that to me sounded like a lot, but it makes sense because if you're using all of Instagram's features, they will again put you at the top of the search and they'll favor you in the algorithm. Another thing they said is at least once a week you do want to go live, whether you do Instagram live or YouTube live. For people who can't do YouTube live, they say do Instagram live. This is really great to get people comfortable with your brand so that they know that you're a real person, you're personable, you have something to offer. They see that you're there and you're available for your audience. So at first I was like, wow, that's a lot to do. Posting one picture a day on Instagram, doing one live every single week, doing stories consistently. I was like, that's a lot. But then they were like, if you know how to juggle the content, again, knowing how to use pictures and videos, you can get a good variation or good shuffle of content to put out on a regular basis. So I thought that was interesting.
Sorry, give more feedback from yours also, please.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna add to that. I did hear similar things like the video and the picture, so I did like that. But also, they said that it's important to like consistently post, like you said. But also not be just trying to sell every time. Like, of course, include your product every single time that you're posting on your social media, but make it like a story. Like, if you are trying to sell a fantasy that they would want to buy. Like, for me, that would be easy. I know that I want to be looking good and feeling good at all times, even behind closed doors when it's just me, myself, and I want that feeling. So, yeah, so like make it something more than just like, oh, I'm trying to sell you a product. Here it is. Like, make it appealing to the audience. And
let me add something there too regarding that. One thing too, like, because we deal with real estate or houses or whatever too, but in our thought process, we don't always want to appear to sell, like you said too. We want to show people that, hey, we're human, and this is what we do in our free time, you know. So make people like you, because you sell yourself, because I'm a likable person, I have fun, I have a family, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to help you sell better, I feel like, because people don't want to be told what to buy. They want to feel like they made that decision on their own. So our job is to make what we have to offer look and feel so good that they decided that they need that feeling. Again, what Mommy was saying, like how in real estate, they want to show you in your lifestyle, show you, you know, and you know, living your regular life, because if you can make your regular life look cozy and happy and comfortable, and there's security and there's family and there's fun and there's food, it's not about the house anymore. It's about what they're going to feel when they get that house, or what they're going to feel when they get that product. And that's the best way to sell, based off of how you feel, or how make people feel that they're going to get to feel that experience by having what you're offering.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because I cut you off. So yeah, but that's
no.
So
cool.
But I kind of wanted to rewind and go back to like in the very beginning of when you're trying to figure out like the name of your business, or what exactly you're going to be selling. Like you keep saying, Nyjah, the niche.
Yeah.
And I like, after I attended this conference, I had to rebrand my own brand.
Yeah.
So I'm still like in the works of everything, but it's so important that I heard this information. So, some tips that I learned was, okay, so when you have your brand name, customers, especially if you're not necessarily a credible site yet, because you're a small business, they don't want to have a super complicated name to go to. So all the extra punctuation and all the underscores and capital zeros, you know, it's complicated. And as a business owner, you have to understand that customers are going to be impatient. So make your name more simplified, and alliteration always goes well with businesses. So that's one thing that I had to change within my business.
I can
And
add to that point as well. People have to also make sure their name is the same across all platforms, because if your name is Polly Pocket on Instagram and Pizza Pocket on YouTube, your people who love you on YouTube, they don't know to type in Polly Pocket on Instagram, so they're not going to be able to find you. So if you keep your name similar across all boards, and even if the name that you want on a certain platform is taken, you can switch it up by adding like official at the end, or you know, again, not adding extra punctuations, but just try and get the name as close as possible across all platforms, so that it's great for branding, it's great for when brands want to find you, and it's great for when your customers want to find you.
Nice. That's good. Mm-hmm.
And something that I realize a lot of small business owners aren't talking about, but that you should probably be doing, are LLCs, trademarks, and, you know, patents, if that's what your business is going to be about. But like LLC, what is that?
Limited
liability. Yeah, so that's important for the person who's going to be getting that. Seems like you guys know a little bit about it, so if you can help me out. But just like, I know that it just makes the owner of the company not necessarily liable to the actual business. Of like, if it's
mommy, what knowledge do you have on that information?
Well, like
the legal side of it.
Pretty much, if and like I'm not, definitely don't know everything about it, but what I do know is like, let's say when I had the store, if somebody was to walk in that store and if they were to get hurt, you know, or something like that, they can't personally sue you, they sue the business, the LLC. Mm-hmm. So it's more so, it takes the protection off of, it keeps you protected personally, and all of the liability falls to the company. So it protects your personal assets, I guess.
Yeah. And I think as we learn more about, like, you know, because mommy is the only one who's experienced like registering legitimately, but of course we're going to have to do those steps in our business as well, as it gains traffic. So maybe we'll come back with more info on that, but or maybe we could bring somebody up here with more info on that, or, you know, do your own research. But that is important to legitimize your business eventually. Whenever when you get because the IRS will be looking for you.
They will.
Okay, cool.
Right, I lost my notes. Let me find. Oh, here they are. Okay. So, she went into like wholesale pros and cons. Do you guys think that's important for this, or do we need to talk more specifically about like business?
Let's talk about it in just a minute. I feel like we're still in the process of niching down. Okay, so let's say now you know what you want your niche to be. Now you know, once you know your niche, you'll know who your demographic is. You know, again, those questions that Tyra answered, you do want to know those for your brand. Even if you're not selling products, a brand still needs to be able to answer those questions. So the next thing that I would say is what content are you creating to promote that brand? Now that you know what your niche is, now we have to create content to build the brand, because right now we have like I guess the name and the concept are like the bare bones of your brand, but the content is the actual meat. This is what people can actually consume from your brand. So the next thing is, what content are you creating for your brand? And we kind of touched on it before, what types of content you can create, but there's like so much. You can do pictures, you can do video, you can do audio, voice recording. There are people who are making YouTube videos just by, you know, using voice memo on their phone, and they'll throw a picture on top of it, or making podcasts. That's something that you could do on your phone. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to show your face. So get clear about what type of content you think your brand needs to thrive. So I want to pose that question to all three of us, since we're like working and going through it. What type of content do you think your brand needs?
Well, before I answer this question, I kind of wanted to add on what you were saying. Like, this is the important time to have multiple social media platforms, because with this pandemic going on, everyone's still on their phone. People are going to work, but they're still on their phones. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok is booming right now. So it's important to like just get everything so that your business can be out there as much as possible.
And
so
if you don't get everything, just find what will make, like, even if you only use like 2 of them, be on 2 of them at least, like YouTube and Instagram, or Snapchat and TikTok, you know, like find at least 2 and really learn how to use them, even if you aren't not good at all of them. Because I've had a Twitter for forever, and I know business people use Twitter, but I've just never needed to use it in my business. So you really have to find the social media outlets that will help your or benefit your brand the best, or showcase it, highlight it in the best light.
And also, that what's really important too are the demographics of each platform, because like depending on your target or the market that you're targeting, certain age groups, you know, use one more than the other. So it really too depends on what you're marketing, because, you know, older people tend to like Twitter more, or you know what I'm saying. So you gotta.
It's good for like real estate and stuff. Yeah.
Right. And so like different age groups require different platforms, or statistically use different platforms. So.
Yeah. So we have, I think, minutes on this recording until we have to start a new one. But we can still finish the. Can you guys hear that? My neighbors. But yeah, we're running out of time on this one, but we can start up a new one. Tyra, do you have anything else that you want to add on this one before we start another recording with more things that we can?
I don't know. I feel like if I have something to say, like it'll come up, you know, because I have a lot of notes and they're like everywhere. But as far as keeping in order, it's kind of tough.
Okay. So the last thing I want to add though, with creating content to promote your brand, you have to ask yourself, does this content add value to anyone? So that's a really big thing that I learned from the summit. I realized I was producing content. I'm doing the photo shoots, I'm making the videos, I'm doing things, but if it's not adding value, I'm doing it for me, which is fine to do it for you. But when you want to grow and scale your business, the idea is to offer something to other people. So this is something to keep in mind when you're creating content for your brand. Yes, it needs to be something that you love and enjoy, but also just try to make your content as valuable as possible. So when we're talking about like Instagram and making photo content, they were saying you can add like quote content because people feel inspired and motivated by quotes, or in your caption you could, you know, say things that make people feel good, because it has to add value if you want to scale. And then the last thing that they said about that is you have to ask yourself, would anybody recommend this content to a friend? So right now, again, if you want to scale, you need to create shareable content. So make sure that whatever content you create, if it's able to be shareable, you're going to grow faster because it's going to be in more hands and not just in one hand. So yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's good information. So I guess this is part 1, and this is the content creator.
Yay. Okay guys, we'll start up another video, but I hope that this was helpful. If it was, please make sure that you hit that thumbs up button.
Busy.
Yes. Hey guys, this is part 2 of some information we learned on a online summit that we took, and we're like just exchanging notes. So I wanted to start with Mommy because she actually was saying that she had to create like a blueprint or a plan to kind of make sense of all the social media platforms and kind of create a business plan on how to use them. So tell us about it.
Well, for me as a whole, just looking at my entire business and how I could incorporate social media with it, though, with so many platforms, you know, kind of coming at you, whatever, or coming at me, I just wanted to make it easier to post this thing on this day, kind of make a blueprint, like she said, about when I wanted to do what.